back to Fight Bet Analytics. I'm just going to be doing another quick video going over the top bets and picks for UFC Fight Night Blaydes versus Daukas. So, first off, I'm going to start with David Dvorak versus Mateus Nicolau. I really like David Dvorak here. I think he's a much better striker, and I think this fight will take place on the feet. I don't think that either guy will initiate the grappling too much. So I think that Dvorak is going to use his jab and his straight punches. I think he'll be able to keep the range. Stay on the outside. And I like him at -140. Or I like the decision prop on him also. Next up, we got Jennifer Maia versus Manon Fiorot. I like Fiorot here. I think she'll be able to stop the takedowns and win a pretty clear decision, if not get a finish. So she should probably win that fight pretty easily. Next up, we got Kizriev versus Dennis. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but this should definitely be Kizriev's fight. It's a short notice fight for his opponent. Kizriev, 13-0, strong wrestler, good striking also. He's a huge favorite, but he should easily win this fight. Next up, we got Dana Baccarel versus Chris Gutierrez. I think this is a 50-50 fight. So I think, Baccarel could get the knockout. I think Gutierrez could win a decision. I think it's a lot of unknowns. But I'm going to take Gutierrez, and just because it's a 50-50 fight, so might as well take the underdog there. I think that Gutierrez could use the leg kicks with the forward pressure, take the big shots. So I think Gutierrez as the underdog would be the play there, but I think it's more of a 50-50 fight. Next up, we got Sarah McMahon versus Carol Rosa. Yeah, I think this is another one that's a really close fight. So I would lean more towards Sarah McMahon. I know she's older, and she does have some cardio issues, but she's been working hard to fix her cardio issues. I've heard training at Team Alpha Male, and when her wrestling is some of the best in that division. She controlled Juliana Pena for most of that fight until she got finished. I'm gonna say that she pulls off the upset here. I know it could be close, but I like Sarah McMahon, and I like Sarah McMahon by decision prop. All right, next up we got Mark Casey versus Vyacheslav Vorshev. I actually like Mark Casey here. I think he's gonna be. And most people think this is gonna be a kickboxing fight. I think Mark Casey is desperate for a win here. I think he's gonna choose to wrestle. I think he could even strike with Vorshev, but I think the wrestling is going to be a big difference here, and I think he'll be able to employ the wrestling, so I like Mark Casey as the underdog. Next up, we got Neil Magny versus Max Griffin. I like Neil Magny here. I think he's beat he's beat much better competition, more experienced, longer reach, better striking, probably better grappling. But Max Griffin, is improving. So you never know how much how big the improvements are that he's making. But I definitely like Neil Magny here. Next up, we got Askar Askarov versus Kai France. I like Askar Askarov here, but at the he's about -350 favorite right now. So I would just. It's probably not too much value there, but I am going to pick him to win. I think he'll be able to probably even outstrike Kaikar France and mix in the takedowns, just be better all around. And I think the mixing up of the takedowns and the striking, I think, at the end of the round, when the striking is fairly close, the takedowns will, seal the round. So I like Askarov there. Next up, we got Matt Brown versus Brian Barberina. I like Matt Brown here. I think Brian Barberina is more has taken more damage than Matt Brown over his career. I mean, he's been in a lot of wars and a lot of crazy fights, and I think Matt Brown still hits really hard. You've seen that in his last couple fights. So I think Matt Brown is just gonna have more dog in him, especially right in front of his hometown. And at a pick'em odds, I really like Matt Brown here. Next up, we got Joanne Wood versus Alexa Grasso. I'm not super confident in either side here. I'm gonna take Alexa Grasso just because she's the um, younger fighter. Coming up, got a lot, has a lot of potential. But I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if Joanne Wood came out here and surprised everyone. And Alexa Grasso at -200, or she's sitting a little bit up -210. I don't like those odds, so I would just pass on this one. Next up, we got the main event: Curtis Blaydes versus Chris Daukas. Really like Curtis Blaydes here. I think this is a really big jump up for Chris Daukas. I don't think he's ready for this big of a step up. I think Daukas has some really good striking. I think Daukas is a good fighter with a lot of potential in the future, but I just think this is a little bit too soon for him. Um, I think that the wrestling of Curtis Blaydes is just going to be too much. I think he'll be able to get a TKO, so I like Curtis Blaydes inside the distance bet. That's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.